Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. Hey, Jordy, did you know that we're on other platforms too?
Really, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and if you would like to talk to us, Discord and Reddit.
Yeah, and if you're watching on YouTube, you should subscribe too. Thank you. Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. Hey, Jordy, did you know that we're on other platforms too?
Really, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and if you would like to talk to us, Discord and Reddit.
Yeah, and if you're watching on YouTube, you should subscribe too. Thank you.
Hey everyone, you're listening to Split View again. It's Sunday, it's that day, everyone's favorite day.
Oh, it is Sunday. I was going to say it's not Sunday when they're listening.
Yeah, it's Sunday for you.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Welcome to the Splitview FM podcast.
Yeah, you're listening to Radio Splitview.
Yeah.
We've made that joke how many times now?
Why do they always have weird, like, fucking transitions like that? I
feel like it's the equivalent of if you tried to put a fucking, like, speed, the drug speed, into a computer. That's what they try and emulate.
It's like
for every one of these.
It's like flashing
intros.
colors and sounds for kids just to keep you like
Literally.
Like if I don't hear a sound for a single second, I'll tune out of this radio station.
Exactly. And these fucking, I don't know who listens to the fucking radio anymore anyway. Do we count as a radio at this point? I would say we do.
Well, we're using the radio show template. Well, basing off the radio show
boy,
template.
do we speak like them.
Yeah.
We certainly do.
I can do that voice pretty consistently without it hurting now since I do it.
I could comfortably do it, but I won't because it's dumb.
Wouldn't it be terrible to be like a radio dude for like 10 years, make basically nothing, and then your voice is basically permanently like that? Every time you try to talk smoothly, like, okay, I would like the lettuce and maybe pizza. Like, you're trying to order food quietly, and you just slip into that voice.
Do you know what that fucking triggered in my brain?
What?
Do you remember many, many years ago on YouTube, that one guy with the golden voice?
Oh, I watched him recently. I watched a thing about him recently. He's like an actually, I think he got fired once, and then he got rehired. But like he went into like back the dude with like the hair who was on the side station, like, I'm the man with the golden voice, such and such. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, like that actual video like made him famous, and he got a job, and I think something to do with his son or something, but like he got arrested for like drug charges, and then I think he's working at a news station now, I think, or a radio show. He used to be a radio host though. Well, that's why he has that voice.
Yeah. Well, good on him, I guess, for getting back out there, I suppose. Some good has come from the internet, shall we say.
Yeah.
Okay, first up, at the top of this episode, I'm going to mention that I am dedicating this episode to my Oma, who passed away a few days ago. And also to my father, because yesterday, as of recording this, was Father's Day. And
nice.
I love my dad, and he is currently in isolation.
I love my dad.
So we have to make this a good episode, dude.
Okay.
Because my dad's in isolation. He needs some funnies, because he's trapped at my Oma's house until a few Fridays. So I already promised him that this would be a good one, all right?
Okay.
So I'm just going to start off with a fun little question. I got a few dad-related questions.
We're going to talk about the Invisible Man at some point.
We will. Yeah. Don't worry about it. The first question is, what is your fondest memory with your dad? Either of them you can pick. I don't know.
I guess doing like projects and stuff. Like, it doesn't matter which one particularly, but like I've always I got into like electrical stuff and like messing with computers since as a kid. I'd watch my dad like build computers and shit, and I really value like doing projects with my dad. Like, we did the pump at the side of the house, and that's like a whole day project, like measuring stuff, going to Bunnings, sharing knowledge about like pipes and threadings and all that shit. And just the experience of like, I don't know, being with someone and then like collaborating like one-to-one kind of
sharing an interest in something.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, especially it means even more so if you're related to them, I guess, and they
Okay.
you know. I was thinking about what I would say if you had asked me, and it was pretty damn close to that. Only like things that like because we just always just crack shitty jokes and all that type of stuff when we're together, and you know those little moments I tend to enjoy more. You know, like big moments, of course.
Yeah.
I have trouble remembering a lot of things, so and I hope people don't judge me too much for that because I can't really help it. But the little things do tend to stick with me like that. All right,
Sorry.
no, you're right.
I have a fond memory of like 5 years ago or something. We were doing the intro for Rex and Noah, and you're at my house.
Yeah.
And we finished like the Code Red and the recording of the Rex and Noah thing, and I remember us both like literally high fiving and being like, "Yes, it's done," and all that. That's just you're saying like us doing shit together and all that. So
yeah, exactly. Like I have, God. This has been the 45th week in a row that we've done this, and we've done like funny shit every single time. You know, like this type of stuff is important to me, and having the fact that I can listen back to all of these conversations we've had is just an extra bonus. Like I've been telling people that this show is basically recorded conversations with one of my best friends.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I get to hold on to them forever. You know, like that's pretty fucking great if you ask me. And if other people like it too, that's even doperer. You know.
Yeah, we try to make it at least like you can listen and not be infuriated most of the time.
Yeah, I think the only times that we tend to infuriate people is when me mostly gets stuff wrong.
I get stuff wrong a lot.
Yeah,
Jordy.
I mean, we both do, but
I just edit it out.
it's it's just a simple. If that's the only thing people are mad about, that's fine by me. If it's just like having two homies there talking, that's what I like to hear. All right, second question: is your dad a dom or a sub?
I mean, my biological dad works at a prison, so I think he just kind of... I'm not going to answer that. Fuck you.
All right, that's not very funny. Okay, this episode...
Thank you for breaking the tension, though.
Yeah, That was actually... I had that written down because I was building up to that joke.
Cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
I thought that would be funny if I could just get you deep in the heartstrings and then say, is your dad a dom or a sub?
Your passed away grandma, and then is your...
Yeah.
What?
Okay, all right. The point of this, when I say I dedicated this episode to my Oma, the topics we're talking about is what I'm dedicating to her. And also this whole episode, I guess, minus the dom and sub jokes and any other jokes like that could be taken out of context. So today...
Coming up next.
All right. We have spoken about this before, but I'm just going to say it quickly because I think it's important that people know that it does work. And I'll explain now so that you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
My Oma was extremely big advocate for being able to pass away on your own terms. Like, she wished that she lived in Melbourne, for example, so that she could
Like
get euthanized
kind of
and all
thing,
that type of stuff. And what ended up happening is she passed away with her exact intentions in mind. Like, my dad was there. My uncle made it. And, he was able to see her before she passed away. And she got just about everything she wanted, aside from knowing that it was going to happen, I think. And I think it's good to mention that because she got everything she wanted, it's been easier for at least me to deal with it.
Yeah.
And we've mentioned before that we're both pretty pro this type of thing. That, you should be able to go the way you want to go if that's what you want to do, right? Like, it's you, it's your life. And the fact that it's made it so much easier knowing that happened is important, and I want that to be put out there. And I think she would appreciate it if other people knew it was okay to do this.
Kind of like tying up the loose ends, I guess. You get to...
Yeah.
You don't leave stones unturned. Like, you can say your goodbyes, be, like, succinct in how you're passing, and they know you passed away, like, you were... I don't know, like, I can't think of the proper words for it, but you know what I mean. Right?
Everyone knows what we're talking about, and it's hard for some people to talk about, but I went and visited her a few days, like maybe 2 days before she passed away, and I was on the way there because it's a little bit of a drive, like half an hour to get there, and I was thinking to myself, how am I going to play this? Am I going to like be somber about it? Am I just gonna... What am I gonna do, right?
What are you, because a sociopath?
No, because it's like, how do I want her to see me?
Yeah.
As potentially the last time she ever sees me.
Okay.
Right? I don't know if that's that weird to think about, but I just decided, I'm just gonna try and just be myself, just be funny, because I would like to laugh, in my last few days, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, think of it as if you were dying, right?
Okay. Yeah, I am dying, funnily enough.
Well, everyone is,
Yeah.
but if you were on your deathbed, right, and I came up to you, would you prefer me to be sad and stuff, or would you want me to just still try and crack jokes with you and put sick animation on?
I would make fucking jokes. I'd pretend
Exactly.
to be dead and then freak everyone out.
Yeah, that's true. You would definitely do that.
I'd secretly unplug the EKG and then it starts beeping and then I'd scare the shit out of everyone.
That's true. I can 100% see you doing that. All right. All that out of the way. Onto the real subject today, which is related to how I've been feeling in light of all this, which is actually, like, I've had a surge of life.
Okay.
Does that mean anything to you? Like, I've kind of...
Well, when you're faced with, like, mortality, you kind of reevaluate your own life and decide whether you're kind of taking it the way you want, so... Yeah.
And I've been to an unfortunate amount of funerals in my life, and usually I'm quite depressed by this fact, but I think...
What, too little?
Sorry? Too little, yeah. No. Don't be afraid to make jokes or anything in this one, by the way. Like, it's, it's just...
I'm afraid, Jordan.
This is a lighthearted sort of podcast, And yeah, so I've been to quite a few, but usually I take it quite badly. Only this time I've felt like kind of seize the moment type stuff from all this.
I mean, a funeral should be a good thing. You want to celebrate the person's passing. You want to, like, they're out of this shitty reality, like they're potentially somewhere better. So
exactly, and I was thinking about all that, and I'm like, look, I've already been on this planet for 22 years, right? And there are so many times over that 22 years where I could have been doing different things.
Yeah.
And now I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, why am I waiting for all these types of things that I want to do, right? I might as well go and do them now. What's stopping me, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Jordy,
anyway.
Realistically, you pausing for a single second in your life could change how your whole world has ended up. So it's literally not...
I have put many hours into that thought.
Yeah, but there's no point even, like, questioning if I did something different, because everything can change things. Like, it doesn't matter.
Well, not necessarily like, can I change anything? It's just what's the point in waiting?
What could have been? It could have been anything. You could be dead. Like,
and you cannot change it. So there's no point in looking back at it as if, how can I change it? I'm just looking at now and every day where I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to waste time with doing this, that, or the other. I'm just going to do the thing that I want to do.
Yeah.
So the first question is, if you could go back 5 years with the knowledge that you have right now, would you do anything differently?
I don't know if I would, to be honest. I just wouldn't.
Yeah,
why
because
even do
in
that?
the past 5 years, I would say a lot of bad, but a lot of good has also happened. Particularly this, for example. This is one of my favorite things to do. I don't know about you, but you haven't told me to stop in 45 weeks, so, But it's just, it's an interesting little thought experiment, I guess, for some people, if you're listening, to think of what might you do differently.
I know 99% of people would say yes, because, like, that's just kind of, like, the allure of time travel is going back. Like, if you could start as a baby with the knowledge that you have and all that, a lot of people would say yes, and I might even say yes at that point, but... I very much live my life in that I'm just kind of going with the flow, and
I agree with you there.
To an extreme point where I might neglect shit that I need to do, and just whatever happens. That's the way I want to live my life.
That's completely fair, and I would say that's how I have always been up until now, when I've kind of become conscious of the fact that I'm going with the flow, and I'm like, maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe I can make stuff happen if I want to.
Talk shit about my way of life, dude?
No, absolutely not, because I was perfectly fine before this. I'm just, I had a seeing things with a new set of eyes, I guess. I don't know.
The thing about going with the flow is easy because you don't set yourself up for anything. Like, you don't expect anything necessarily, like, oh, I want to get this job, and then you're sad when you don't get this job. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's a bit sloth-like living in that kind of way.
I think it's just sort of...
It's easy to.
Preparing yourself for the worst in every case. And then when you've prepared for the worst so many times, you end up just kind of being indifferent through the whole thing. And then, because it doesn't matter then, right? If you don't care, or you're indifferent about it, not you don't care, it just doesn't really matter if you don't get that job or whatever, because it's just whatever, you know? It's just one more day. You can always get another job, right? And I don't think there's anything particularly bad about living like that at all. There isn't at all. It's just, I don't know. I'm just having a different outlook on life at the moment, I guess. When was the last time that you tried something new? It could be. What did you do?
I can't necessarily think what.
Like, it could literally be. I tried a different food.
I did a different technique in conditioning my hair, Jordy. I conditioned it and then I washed it like a psychopath.
You condition what, and then what? Shampooed it?
No, yeah, I did the conditioner first and then the shampoo, and it actually turned pretty well. Like, it's very silky.
Your hair's still in your head, so I believe you there.
Okay. Conditioner makes your hair not fall out.
Well, maybe who knows if you do the process backwards or not? Whether you still get hair.
I realized this, like, someone during TAFE or something. My teacher was like, we were doing some sort of example in algorithms and shit, and he was like, oh, for example, what kind of rituals do you have? And that really fucked me up. I was like, I don't have any rituals. I don't do anything concurrently or consistently. Like, literally nothing except this day. This is like the only day where I consistently do something. Like, literally.
But I prefer that, though.
Yeah, I do too. I just kind of made me realize, like, I'm not the person to do things consistently. If I can do something new, I'll evaluate whether I should do it. Like, what's the worst that could happen? And I just will do it.
It actually shocks me still that 45 weeks later, I still actively look forward to something that's planned.
Yeah.
Because I used to always, and still do, if I was to, like, plan something that wasn't this in advance, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, but there's nothing like emotionally distressing about this. It's not like,
well, that's true.
It's not like going out and something you have to worry about your feet fucking hurting, or like going somewhere shitty, or like, I don't know, just other shit you have to worry about, having to like get out of your comfortable state, because, you know, being here is comfortable. You're like, it's a very like nice experience. I guess
it's like my second home at this point. And usually, like, being spontaneous is infinitely more fun for me, because then usually if I plan something, I overthink no matter what it is. Like, even if it's a good thing, like, I think of, well, what's going to happen at this good thing? Is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? And when it happens, it's different from what I've imagined. And then for some reason, I'm let down, even if the thing was good. So it's very strange the way my brain works, but I think that's been well established at this point. So, you know,
it's a key plot detail.
Yeah, the only thing, like, that I find interesting about coming here is that it is still technically different every time I come here.
Okay.
Because we always talk about different stuff and do different things, but overall it's the same. I'm trying to explain how fucking insane I am right now, aren't I? That's what I'm doing.
Fine.
That's what I'm
trying
doing.
To justify yourself.
All right. Let's go on to the next question then.
Yeah.
If I asked you what your ideal life is, what would that be? What does that mean? I'm talking about, let me rephrase it. What are you working towards in your life? Like, I'm working towards, what is your goal?
I'm working towards having a place where I can do, like, the things that I want to do on my terms, while also not going broke and then fucking, like, dying.
Do you have a means of doing this in mind?
Yes, I do.
Are you comfortable sharing it?
Yeah, I wanna get, like, a job, either like some software place or something, especially remote work is good now, and, like, over time establish a good schedule on, like, a work kind of hobby slash you know, whatever, like, relationship, so that I can do what I want to do at work and not, like, it be shitty. Like, if I do software or something, I want to do the software stuff, and then in my own time I can, like, play guitar or, like, build what I want to do. And that would be happy for me. Like, a lot of people would say that shit, just, like, working one type of job for the rest of your life, but as long as I can have a good work slash hobby slash, like, fun relationship, that's fine.
What is it that they say? If you enjoy what you do, you don't work a day in your life?
Yeah, but that's actually a rhetorical kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because you can never, like, enjoy what you do for work.
Yeah. It's
not work.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that you can definitely enjoy what you do, but I also think that you cannot have that same level of excitement for it for your whole life. Yeah, exactly. That just can't happen. So at some point you have to come down from that, right? But
what do they say? Like, there's that one reply, like, the dude who's like the chiropractor and masseuse for like supermodels gets bored of feeling up celebrities' breasts eventually. Is that the thing?
I would assume that you definitely would. Imagine if you were a masseuse, you would be so sick of just seeing that.
Yeah.
All day. Well, I don't even think you'd be sick of it. You'd be desensitized completely to it. It'd just be like, yep, this is a client.
You'd view it in more of like a tactical sense of like, oh, this is the things I need to use. This is the technique I need. It's like it's like a work site more than it is like an erotic body.
Yeah, I think people might be getting confused with this profession with Pornhub. Okay. They are different things. That is for sure.
I've heard that people want the government to regulate the types of pornography. Like they want to ban like studio pornography and just have like amateur kind of stuff, like verified amateur.
Okay.
So it's fine.
Why?
Because it sets up like an unrealistic. I mean, obviously, not everyone's going to be like a porn addicted teenager, but it just sets up an unrealistic expectation of what it is.
It definitely does do that. So I can. Yeah, actually, I do see that.
But then again, it's not everyone, like very few, well, I don't know, very few people have that expectation. Or at least it's quenched immediately when they get to the real thing, so.
Yeah, it's definitely more than I think you're willing to think about.
Yeah. People
who do go in expecting to just raw dog anyone that they fucking meet and who's willing to have sex with them. Because I have met, and I know you know this person, someone who is just fucking horrible when it comes to that type of thing, that we went to high school with. Anyway, won't name drop that because that's fucking horrible. That life that you were talking about, the one that you think would be ideal, is that your dream, or is that your that is your achievable future?
If I said a dream and achievable,
that's great
because
I love that.
This is because. Notch, obviously.
Yeah.
Notch is bored as fuck. Notch literally, he has a multi-million, like $100 million mansion, fucking candy shop built into it. Literally, he has a candy dispenser room. He just fucking posts like JavaScript experiments on Twitter every now and then and gets bored as fuck and all that. He got back into Minecraft. He plays Minecraft with fucking like streamers now. Isn't that weird?
I mean,
he's just bored as fuck. Like I want that life. Because he has like everything. He has success. He has fame. And like
crippling boredom.
Well, yeah, he still just goes back and programs like literal that's space. I wouldn't be Notch.
You would be bored. I don't think you would get bored.
But that's
you've
I'm not
always been working on something the whole time I've known you. And if you had infinite money as Notch does, I don't think you would be bored like him because you have more interests than.
But what I'm saying though is that like he has the money to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And presumably he's gotten bored of buying things just to like have fun with them or whatever.
Have that little high of spending a shitload of money.
So he's settled back into what he was doing. He's doing experiments like programming stuff, playing games and all that. That's what I want to do. I want to like
that
essentially
would be great. I would
Notch.
love to see what you would do with infinite money, dude. Actually, I would be terrified as well.
Infinite time is what you need to.
Well, that's true.
You can have all the money in the world. Doesn't mean you want to fucking sit down and do something.
Well, that is very true, and I guess Notch. Again, is the example of that because he could do whatever the fuck he wants and he's still playing Minecraft, which sounds actually pretty good now that I mention it. All right. Tell me one thing that you think every person on this planet should experience at some point in their life.
Probably death.
Well,
I mean that literally.
You will get that wish.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, maybe we can make ourselves invincible at some point. Who knows? Wasn't it last week that we were talking about body transplants or something?
Yeah, we were, but even then that's like
it's still not technically.
Well, because the reason I say death is because death is like the ultimate unknown.
It is.
So of course you'd think of what dying would do to your life if you could come back from it.
Yeah.
If you understand what death is, what that would motivate you to do.
That's true, because like what I'm feeling right now is like a 0.1% of probably what that would feel like. So that would probably be wacky. Yeah, that would be cool, but also not cool at the same time.
Also, I didn't ask you what your fucking ideal position would be in life.
I have two separate ones. I have an achievable one that I know I can achieve, and one that, if it were possible, and is possible, but if the stars align, I would like to happen.
Yeah.
And the one that I am working towards right now, my achievable one, is to make my way to becoming a detective, as I've mentioned on the show before. And, you know, maybe even working my way up higher than that to make some change and do good things for people, because I don't tend to do many things for myself. And I just think it would be nice to do that for people every day. And, you know, also still keeping up my hobbies of playing guitar, maybe even making a few records with my friends and all that. But that also ties on to my dream, which would be
To be a rock star.
to pretty much, to play music in a fucking arena, because so many people love what I've made.
That'd be pretty sweet, actually.
Wouldn't it? Like,
Yeah.
just imagine, like, this is one thing I've always thought about, and it is corny as fuck, but I have every intention of making full-fledged songs, right?
Dude, fucking Jordy was literally like fucking eating his own vomit, fucking like eating
Yeah, I
hair
know,
and
yeah.
shit, fucking around, and now he's like is a fucking presumably millionaire fucking rock star
Oh, he
that a lot of
definitely
people
is,
knows.
dude. He is
he's
massive.
He's from Australia as well. You
Yeah.
can fucking do that.
I know, and look, there is nothing that is going to stop me from putting my hat in the ring, as it were. You know, I'm going to
Yeah.
do it. Whether it takes off or not, I can't control that, ultimately. Same as this podcast,
Yeah.
you know? Like, if this takes off and becomes a big thing, fuck yeah, I'll take it. But if not, I still don't mind. I still get to...
Yeah.
Like, it's a thing for me to have that I like to
Yeah, I don't
have.
really see it like that either. Like, I just see it like I do the podcast because it's fun. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I've gotten better at like speaking and forming my thoughts and
Oh,
all that.
definitely,
like,
dude.
And I get to practice like audio engineering and all that. So
Yeah, it's fucking great. Like, I listen back to old episodes every now and then, and like, my God, the rate at which we grew from the first few episodes to now, like, it's been less than a year, we're close to a year, but like,
yeah,
we there is like no awkward silences in our episodes anymore, aside from maybe when we're asking Google a question and she doesn't answer right
okay.
away.
I was thinking of just adding in a silence right now, just
Well.
not saying anything. I mean, there wasn't that
God
many.
damn, I was gonna.
I know you did a fucking like stone face.
Yeah.
I was thinking, fucking. I mean, we were pretty tight in the first.
Oh my God, you actually got me there.
Tricked you.
Dude, I had to make sure you were okay. My brain was like, why did he stop? And then I looked over because I was like,
Had
on a train of
fucking
thought.
Pulmonary aneurysm.
Yeah. But my sort of dream would be, think about this, right? Especially if all of us are making music together. Like, we're backstage at a big fucking arena, probably one here in Australia, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, what's it?
Sydney Opera House.
Suncorp or something? Or,
Sydney Opera
yeah, maybe,
House.
you know.
Suncorp's
And just
way
hearing
bigger.
everyone fucking chant
Yeah.
your band name or whatever, right? And then you come out and then you play music for all these people who are here because you've made something that they
Yeah.
love so much.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
that's just something that
It's a bit egotistical.
it is, but like, I feel like I have something to offer in that regard, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yeah, of course you do.
keep it to myself, I guess. I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
Exactly. And that's something that everyone should take from this episode, is just do it, man.
Hey,
just
Jordy.
Nike, just do it, man.
The Invisible Man was pretty bad. Wouldn't you say The Invisible Man?
The Invisible
That
Man.
movie?
I would say it was pretty
I want to
bad.
hear your take of it.
Granted, funnily enough, I don't remember a whole lot from that movie, but what I do remember is being extremely mad that I used currency in exchange for the ability to watch that movie.
Fuck. First of all, if you hate Blumhouse movies, do not watch this. Because it's the ultimate Blumhouse movie. Like, the first fucking hour is just literal, like, cock tease jump scares.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, something scary is going to happen. Oh, whip hand. And then I think at one point a fucking, like, phone made a noise, and then it startled me, and I was like, fuck you, movie.
Yeah.
Like, I literally said out loud, fuck you, movie.
I am a very, very, I take a very hard stance on this point right here. I fucking hate jump scares. Not because they're scary,
They're not,
which
okay,
they
they're
are.
not scary. They're not, no.
Okay,
They're not scary.
yeah, I know
They're
what you mean.
startling.
They're startling. But
Horror,
it is
scary, and jump scares are not the same thing.
I fucking love horror movies, right?
Yeah.
But I fucking hate when a jump scare. I know I'm not going to enjoy a movie if there's jump scares in it, because it means that you don't have a good story to tell.
Movies with jump scares aren't horror movies. There's a mutually exclusive.
They're movies where they've turned the sound up every now and then.
Yeah, they duck. Oh my god, I couldn't I was listening with my monitors, obviously, like my nice studio monitors and interface. You could fucking hear the ducking in the audio. You could hear the audio go down and then suddenly peak up. I was like, I know when it's gonna happen. I get like 2 seconds warning.
Yeah, and it just fucking infuriates me, because I've watched movies like... I've mentioned A Quiet Place before, I think, on the podcast.
Yeah.
Might have been Flickview. Like, that movie has next to no fucking sound. It doesn't even... I don't even think the characters have names, because they don't even speak.
Yeah.
And that movie is fucking great to me, because it's interesting and it's different, and it makes me scared. Like, I've described that movie as, like a 2-hour, however long it runs for, heart attack. Because it just... I'm fucking anxious the whole time, you know? That's what it should be. Like, you have this medium and all this money to make a movie, just put a little effort into it, you know?
Do you know what's funny? Like, the first hour of The Invisible Man is people trying to convince the main character that she's crazy, and then she's acting like she is crazy, and you're supposed to think that the twist of the movie is that there is no Invisible Man. The fucking movie is called The Invisible Man.
Yeah.
At no point do we think there is not an Invisible Man.
Yeah. It's like they forgot that that's what they were going to call it.
Were you at all fucking surprised when it turned out that it wasn't Adrian in the suit when he died?
Dude, I just thought it was so fucking dumb that, like... that they didn't even choose to go, oh, he was a poltergeist. It was a fucking guy in, like, a fucking exosuit
that made,
or something.
like, spider cricket noises whenever
I was like,
made sounds.
What the fuck is this movie, dude?
Yeah.
Like, it just annoyed me that was what was happening. I don't care who was in the fucking suit. It just annoyed me that was what it was.
Yeah.
And, yeah,
it's just some guy fucking with her.
Makes me mad, dude. Makes me mad. I hate that the movies like this, it's just like, you have some money, you're trying to make more money, so you just dump it into something.
Well, that's how the Blumhouse does his shit. Like, he literally just invests a couple million into a movie and gets fucking $1 billion back. Like, that's his whole shtick.
There are good Blumhouse movies, for sure. Yeah, but in fact, I use that usually as a indicator if a movie's going to be good or not, if it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
And... because usually fucking B-list horror movies have, you know, some random-ass found footage, you know, intro with it or something. Yeah. This, I know, has at least some money behind it, so it could be good. But I have lost so much faith in the horror industry, dude. Like, I'm convinced that people aren't going to make scary movies anymore.
Like, horror and scary aren't the same thing, though. Like, horror is attention. Scary is the feeling of being scared, and then... fucking jump scares are just that. Like, it's all... Blumhouse is literally like house flippers. That's what his whole shtick is. Like, he finds scripts that need work, he gives it money, and then he flips it for fucking $500 million.
Yeah. I mean, I can't hate the guy. Yeah. He's getting that bread, you know? Anyway... maybe we'll watch a Blumhouse movie for Blumhouse movie for
I want to talk about the twist real quick.
Okay, go for it.
There's like 3 twists in this movie, right? The Invisible Man.
You'll have to remind me of them. I remember that one where it turns out to be a guy in a fucking stealth boy.
Well, that was always like, we saw at the beginning of the movie that there was something. There was an invisible suit. The character's fucking dumb as rocks, even though she knows how to get into the high tech lab, and he's a fucking optics engineer. But, what the first twist is that we're led to believe she's actually crazy, even though the movie's called fucking Invisible Man.
Yeah.
And then the second twist is that it's not actually the boyfriend, it's his brother.
Yeah.
And that, I was like, well, yeah. And then it turns out, like, oh, it was the Adrian as well. And I was like, yeah. Like, literally nothing about this movie was surprising. I was like, well, yeah, he doesn't talk. Like, we literally hear so many times that he's manipulative. And then he manipulates, and we're supposed to be shocked by that.
Do you know what I imagine for the, like... You know how they always do, like, a private screening of these movies before it goes into cinemas?
Yeah.
I imagine the director for this movie standing up there, like, next to the screen, and then, like, when the big reveal happens, he's, like, looking at everyone like, Isn't that good?
Okay.
Like, isn't that
I
great?
guess so.
And like everyone's like, yeah, man, that's great.
They have like private
Because
theaters.
it's fucking terrible.
They have private theaters they do the color correction in, like a little mini Atmos, and
Yeah.
it's a very personal room, and the director's in the middle, and all like the PAs and shit, and then like people are next to him, and I imagine they just kind of like look in their phone like,
Yeah, he's
like,
looking back at everyone, like turning around,
"Guys."
going, "Come on, isn't that good?
Yeah.
That's pretty good, right?"
like, come on, guys. He's like, yeah, I guess it's gonna make money. Only for the first week.
Yeah, I have to take this business meeting, you know, the Zoom meeting.
Yeah, they can't be mad because it is gonna make a profit.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking soulless, that movie.
It's pretty bad.
It's really
I
bad.
didn't think the acting was all too good anyway.
Well, that's because it was terrible.
Yeah, the main actor, like I feel like the director, like just didn't give her the right emotional cues. Like at some point she genuinely acts crazy,
Yeah.
even though like she's not supposed to be acting crazy. She's supposed to appear like she's crazy to other people.
I think it's supposed to be like she's doubting herself, right? Because she goes, well, everyone else seems to not believe me. I don't know if it's obviously invisible men can't be real,
Yeah.
so how is this working? But I think the twist is so dumb because it's as if we could have had a notion that an invisible man could have existed somehow.
And also a fucking like thermal camera or like flour,
Yeah.
or even the dust, or even just hear. You can hear when someone's near you.
It annoyed me so much because it's fucking impossible. The suit that he's in is not humanly possible.
I mean, it kind of it wouldn't work as well as it is, but you can make lenses that can bend light around things.
but you would be able to see that.
If
There is no way that it would be fucking seamless.
there are lenses that can bend light around objects, there are.
Well, either way, I didn't know about that fact that it could possibly happen.
Unless
so
we
when they
have, like-
revealed that, like, it was like, oh, that's what it was. It was like, what the fuck is this?
Did you know that they actually shot this with both actors and then they just keyed out him?
That sounds like a pain.
Did it look like that, or did it look like shitty fucking CG?
It looked like shitty CG.
Like, I don't get why they didn't like mocap his suit and then make something convincing, since he looks
Fucking make him walk around in green,
he
dude.
looks like a fucking PS3 character
Yeah.
at most points.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Anyway, enough of the flick view on
Yeah.
this movie, on The Invisible Man. I have a few more questions before we go. We actually did inadvertently cover this already, but I'll just ask the question again. Do you think the end result or the journey getting there is better?
What?
We talked about it earlier when we were talking. Well, somewhat talked about it earlier when we were both mentioning with our dads our favorite memories were working on the projects.
like what's
with
more
each other.
valuable?
Yeah, what's more valuable to you? Like, you know, like if we did become, take for example, if this podcast becomes a big
Yeah.
thing, I would value this time probably more, us getting to that point.
I value
point.
it equally. I don't really see it as like a non-linear kind of thing.
Well, that's true. It doesn't have to be. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. Well, I guess I was thinking
it's
along
just
that
something
realm.
that
Yeah,
happened.
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to enjoy both of them
Okay.
too. I'm going to steal your idea.
It depends on how you feel at the time.
Yeah.
What you value the most.
Because I always think about all the things that I've done in the past, and I'm like, yeah, getting there was good. The actual product was good, but like I spent a whole year doing this, you know, so it's like I have all these memories.
Yeah,
from doing
like
this.
I get that, but it very much depends on like what you're trying to get out of it, what you feel about the outcome, and what you feel about, you know, like it's
true.
I don't think there's a definitive answer.
No, there absolutely is not a definitive answer to this. It's per person basis, but
It's like fucking working as a fucking like septic tank cleaner. Like, you do $1 million job. Yeah, obviously the journey's fucking terrible cleaning
It's
up
a
all the
bit
sewage.
shitty.
But you get, and then you get $1 million afterwards. Whereas compare that to fucking, like, I don't know, eating a fucking cake because someone's going to pay you $1 million, will pay you $10 to eat the cake. Yeah, the cake was pretty nice, but you only got $10 for it.
I wouldn't eat a cake for $10, dude. I don't like cake that much.
Yeah, I don't either, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it depends on the actual thing.
Okay, this is a pretty big question right here.
Okay.
Is there anything that you've always dreamed of doing?
Probably buying a used welding robot arm and then using it to smash holes in my house.
That's so specific. Dude,
It's
okay.
true.
I've mentioned this to you. I've been in the vicinity of one of those arms.
Let me show you my eBay search history.
You've recently searched for one.
Yeah, of course I have.
And But
Oh, it's not in there. God damn it.
okay, because when I actually mentioned on the show when I was working at like in the I don't know the steel I don't know what to call it, and they have in the warehouse I guess I don't know
with these Matsushita arms. Or whatever.
they had this fucking brand spanking new arm, and they had to put this massive fence up. And I was like, why do you have to put the fence up? And they were like,
fucking wreck you.
Yeah, okay, but here's the thing, right? And he was like, because if that thing has a piece of sheet metal and launches it, it could decapitate you. I'm like, what's this fucking wire fence gonna do then? Put a concrete wall up. What the fuck are you doing?
That's not what
Why are we working here with a wire fence if that thing has the potential to fucking shuriken a piece of steel and take my head off?
Very unlikely, but he's just fucking with you. That's not the actual reason. The reason is because if you get within its working range, then it has to shut off because it can just suddenly swipe and then fucking knock your head off.
Well, that's true.
Like, it has to have some sort of way of telling you if you're near it.
Those things are crazy, dude.
Yeah, of course they are. Fucking crazy. You can get them for like I was looking on eBay the other day, and I've always fucking wanted a robotic arm, like a huge fucking factory one. And I want one that like doesn't have anything with it, so I can spend like months trying to fucking use it and like interact with it. And then in the end, I can have something that's fucking like beast. It's just like a mech robot arm that does whatever the fuck I want. That would be awesome.
Know the extent of what you could really do with that, and I'm terrified to think about it.
It doesn't matter, Jordy.
I know it doesn't.
Big ass fucking robotic arm that you can use to do shit.
I feel like that thing would be used for the most silly reasons I could possibly imagine. Dude. And that is the best use for it, man.
Use it as a fucking mic stand. Have it like face track you and then hold the mic up to your mouth.
That'd be cool.
Except when it fucking malfunctions and slaps you in the face.
And rips cables out of your computer at lightning speeds.
Oh, that's the least of your problems. When, like, you know how, like, you know, like, face tracking, when it detects a face behind you, it's like, oh, better fucking move it behind you. And it just fucking, like, grand slams you to your face.
You'd have to train it so it only does our faces. Okay. I guess, you know.
Okay.
That's a fucking great. I love that you had that on deck. That's fucking great.
Well, yeah, because it's like they're $10,000. I don't have $10,000 just for a robotic arm. So that's my dream. Yeah, exactly.
One day, man.
That's why it's a dream.
The line I had after that is, "If so, when can we do it?" Like, what's the thing that you want to do most in the world?
If $10,000, motherfucker.
I don't. I'm afraid, but I would love to give you that money if I had it to see what you would do with it.
You know what I'll do with it.
I do. Actually, I know what you would do with it right now. It's an ever-changing process, what you would be doing
fucking
with that.
eBay.
Yeah.
No, that's
You'd probably make it play guitar one week, and then the next week you'd have it, like...
Well, yeah, that's the point.
Like, have a big fucking foam fist and, like, RKO me when I walk in the door or something.
I'd make the most metal as fuck fucking machine in the entire world. You know Dick Smith sells fucking machines?
Oh my god, like you're saying fucking machine. I thought you like they sell... fucking machines. I'm like, okay, yeah, they do.
Like, literally.
Yeah, okay. I did not know that.
Dick Smith is, like, owned by Kogan, I think, still. But, like, they just have an adult toy section. Like, at Dick Smith, it's the hilarious thing. They have, like, 5 different models.
Hey, it's in the name.
Like, yeah, it is. Like, Ultra Penetrator Max Plus off 2000 RPM Extreme, including fucking, like, strap handle locking system and all that.
I don't think... Here's something... This is a bit of a life rule for everyone who's buying anything in this realm. If you're buying any type of sex toy and it has the word premium in it, don't buy it, because it's not premium.
That's debatable. You can have shit that's like silicone or like PVC or like some other shit that's like all nasty and shit. So premium does have a fucking weight to it.
Or the word quality. If it says quality, that means you definitely shouldn't fucking buy it.
Jordy, the point of having a $10,000 robot arm is that I can do anything with it.
That is true. That is true.
It doesn't have to be one thing.
You could turn yourself into GLaDOS, you know? You could put a harness on it and then, like, fly around.
They're that strong. They probably fucking could.
I'm certain they could. If they can take my head off with a flick of the wrist. All right. Why is it so hard for people to do things that are right for them and healthy for them, but it's so easy for them to do things that are detrimental to themselves?
Because usually the better thing to do is the one that's harder. Therefore,
and you have to give up more.
It's like junk food. Junk food may taste good. It's cheap and easy to get, but it's not the best thing for you.
Yeah, it's to me... that's the obvious answer, right? And it is the answer to the question.
What's the non-obvious answer,
The non-obvious thing that comes to my mind is...
bitch don't know shit.
If you are consciously aware of the fact that eating it will cause you problems at some point, which I would say most people are if they're eating things.
People smoke knowing that it's bad for
I
them.
know, and it's like you know this is going to happen, but for some reason you're willing to put it aside for this specific thing, because there's always someone that says, maybe if they smoke, and then you say, "Hey, do you want to try this pill or something?" And like, fuck no, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
But they're already doing something that's fucking them up, probably worse. Do you know what I mean?
Fucking hypocrites, dude.
Well, it's not even like... oh, I guess it is, but it's just... I find it funny how every single person considers different things okay to other people. And are willing to...
It's the nature of humanity, Jordy.
Yeah, it's true. It's kind of cool, isn't it? I have two more questions, so we'll power through them because... we're at the 45-minute mark
as well.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll go extra quick then. This is a fun question. What is the closest thing in real life that we have to magic?
Probably like harnessing quantum realm shit, like having fucking wireless communication over literally nothing.
Yeah.
Jordy, magic is anything which you do not understand.
That's true,
That
but...
one Steven no, not Steven Seagal. I don't fucking famous physicist before Bill Nye.
I don't know.
What is your fucking dream thing to do? I didn't ask you that. Mine was the robotic arm. What's yours?
Oh, my... what was the question again? Tell me the one...
Is it cool?
One thing I've always dreamed of doing. Oh, boy. Probably... I've always dreamed of doing... Jeez. Maybe I would like to do... skydiving at one point. That's a very achievable goal. But I'm also horrified. I'm fucking horrified. Have I mentioned on the show how much skydiving baffles me? One guy decided one day his life was so boring that he needed to jump out of a plane. Some guy needed to test the parachute, Tom. Some guy needed to go, right, I've strapped this tablecloth to my back. I'm going to jump out of a plane and see if it works. That happened. And then he decided it was so fun that he would do it again.
I have a feeling it's probably some sort of military-related thing, like the military invented it since they're trying to figure out ways to get troops into places.
True. That's actually a good point. I envisioned some fucking mad scientist trying it out for the first time. But you're right, it probably is that.
I would have thought some fucking idiot just deciding.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The local whack job decided he would strap a fucking sheet to his back and jump out of a plane.
Yeah.
And he actually lived. But, I don't know, fucks with me. That's that. I would like to do that one day, but an ultimate dream thing would be to play a gig in an arena, I guess. That's something I've always wanted to do.
You say arena like it's a combat arena.
No,
you can just play a gig. Like, that's the thing you can
not
do.
at an arena.
If you get good enough, you can fucking, like, be the supporting or, like, I don't know, fourth in line band at some sort of fucking...
Man, I gotta be the top one there. Okay. I want to be why people are coming to see the show, you know?
Right.
But, anyway, last question is, Tom, are you living the life you want to live?
Yes.
That makes me very happy to hear.
Because there's no other life I could live.
That's true. That is not the point of the question, but
as I was saying
true.
before, there's no way my life could have never turned out like this because we live in a multiverse which has infinite fucking possibilities, so it's kind of both impossible and stupid to try to fucking, like, pinpoint that down to decisions you made at some point.
That's true, I guess.
It just, I don't know.
It wasn't such a literal
Jordy,
question.
Are you living the fucking life you want to live?
At the moment, I am.
Okay.
I would say I'm quite happy with how I'm doing everything right now. Right. I'm making music. I'm doing the podcast here. I'm quite happy, man. And on that note, I will sign off here. And Dad, I hope you enjoyed this episode in lockdown. Hopefully, I did promise you a bit of a funny episode, but it ended up being wholesome. So I hope you can.
At your birthday, right?
Yeah.
We were sitting having cake and all that. Your dad was to the right of me, and then he was like, "The cat's using the kitty litter," and no one reacted to that. And I looked at him and said, "Thank you," and he said, "Well, I heard it." Why did he mention that? He heard the cat using the cat litter and specifically said, "Oh, the cat's using the cat litter."
I don't know, dude. Maybe that's a little secret you and him shared. So
that's what happened, though.
I hope you remember that one, Dad.
I'm the only one that acknowledged it, and then he knew that it was weird to say it. He explained it like, "Oh, I just heard the cat litter." Why?
Well, hope you enjoyed this one, Dad. Hope you're feeling better. Hope you're feeling good and great. See everyone next week. Take it easy and enjoy your day and do what it is you want to do in life. See you next time.
Bye.